Hi everybody. Okay, so I am Madison Goodyear and I am heading up the unofficial Wheel of Time read-along or buddy read or whatever you want to call it in Mike's Discord channel. I say unofficial because Mike's not reading these books with us. He read them earlier this year and in 2019, and he's not quite ready for a read-along, so he won't be joining us, but I'm sure he'll pop in and out of the discussion some. But anyway, I'm heading that up. This will be a reread for me, and I just wanted to kind of introduce myself really quick and go over some frequently asked questions I'm getting. Just right off the bat, if you don't feel like watching this video, I have made a pinned post, so let me know if you need help finding that, but otherwise, I'll just get to it. Okay, so like I said, I wanted to introduce myself. I'm Madison. I live in rural Missouri. I'm married. I have 3 kids, and they're pretty cool. And I have been reading fantasy for all of my life, but I did take like a 10-year hiatus. So 2019 was my rebirth into fantasy. I kind of got back into reading for fun, and it was Wheel of Time was a big contributor to that. So how I got introduced to Wheel of Time, I was a super big fan of Game of Thrones, and when I started realizing that I was going to be left disappointed by the show, I kind of started to worry. I was like, what am I going to do without this? Like, what am I going to do without this world and these characters and this magic system and the politics and the geography? Like, I was a student of A Song of Ice and Fire, and I really did start to worry about, like, what am I going to do when this is gone? And so I decided to get back into reading. And Wheel of Time was not the first series that I picked up to kind of like get me back into it. But I have a friend named Bart, and in the server his name is Sayadine. So he was my Wheel of Time mentor. I'm not actually sure how he caught on to the fact that I was trying to get back into reading, but somehow he latched onto that, and he didn't stop pestering me until I made a plan to read the Wheel of Time. And so obviously I started with book 1, and through reading in audiobooks, but full disclaimer, I did mostly audiobooks. I read the whole series in just over 12 weeks. Reading is never a race, it is not a competition. But if it was, I would win. Just kidding. All of that to say, I do understand that some people will want to read ahead because, truth be told, like, I needed the Wheel of Time when I found it. I was going through a lot of personal stuff, and it really was what I needed to be completely sucked into something and to be just enthralled in another world and just getting to know the characters and just that, it was so good. So I read it straight through in 12 weeks, and you know what? I have no regrets with that, but it's not ever how I would recommend it to somebody. Like I said, I was using it therapeutically, and so that method is not going to resonate with most people. And so in this read-along, we are doing 1 book a month. I made some notes in my little clipboard so I don't get too distracted. This video will probably end up being like 15 minutes long, even though it could be like 3 minutes long, because I just talk, okay, guys? Okay, so yeah, Bart was my mentor. He's in here with us. I brought him in because I'm like, I need you to help me with this. So there are going to be some people in here that are super in love with Wheel of Time and happy to help you. I don't know if all of them are reading along with us, but these are like Wheel of Time experts. Bart, and like I said, his handle is Sayadine, and so you can tag him anytime. You can always tag me. Jirok is like the Wheel of Time Jesus in here, okay? So Jirok is always down to talk about Wheel of Time. And also, I mean, you're gonna figure out pretty quick the folks that are in here because they're super fans, and super fans love talking about Wheel of Time. And so as long as you're not being obnoxious or anything, like, don't hesitate to tag us, because we are really happy to jump in and chat Wheel of Time, answer your questions anytime. Don't at Mike in here because, like I said, this is not his thing. He's going to be focused on the Malazan read-along this year. And so don't at him in here. This is not his project. It's my baby. And so, yeah, again, it's not like you can never at him. He's not that kind of guy who's going to get mad at you if you tag him in something. But this just isn't his project. Okay. So like I said, we're doing 1 book a month. If you feel like reading ahead, you do you. Like, I'm not your boss. This is just for fun. So if you feel like reading ahead, you should do that. But we are going to be discussing 1 book a month. This channel right here is where we're going to be doing, I say this channel right here, I'm pointing, I'm doing a video. The Discord channel, our little chat room we have, that is going to be where we do all of our discussion. We're not going to be opening up chapter discussion channels. Everything's happening in that. Right now it says What Eye of the World. So in January, that's where we're going to do all of our Eye of the World chat. And then in February, we're going to take that same channel and we're going to rename it What the Great Hunt, which is book 2. So we're going to do all of our chatting in there in that one channel. Please spoiler block. Like if you have questions, spoiler block. Like make sure you reference what you're talking about. So you don't have to specify what book you're in because I want the chat to remain pretty specific to the book we're talking about. But if you get ahead, just mark what book you're in, mark what chapter you're at, and then spoiler mark your questions. If you don't know how to spoiler mark, just ask somebody. Okay, this is like a little personal advice. A lot of people don't know if they're going to like The Wheel of Time because maybe it's not your favorite writing style. Maybe you've heard a lot of scary things about it. Maybe you're just not sure if you're up to a 14-book series. My advice personally is to give it through book 4 before you make up your mind. If you can tell after half a book that you're like, I hate this, like, don't read it. Not everyone's gonna like it. Not everything is for everybody. Don't force yourself to read something you don't like just because you think it's like, this is supposed to be the pinnacle of all fantasy. I have to like this, right? No, you don't have to like it. But if you're just still kind of like, I don't know, I'm along for the ride, things are pretty good, I don't get what the big deal is yet, give yourself through book 4 before you jump ship. Because for me, like that's just when everything just went like, honestly, if you're not there by halfway book 2 though, it might not be for you. I already said that. Read ahead if you want. We're gonna chat about it at the pace of 1 book a month. But if you feel like reading ahead, you should just do what makes you happy. A question I keep getting a lot is, I want to do the Malazan read along, but I also want to do this. Like for a first time reader, like am I crazy? Should I do that? Hold on, I need a drink. This is just my opinion because I've never read Malazan, but I mean, you know what what you can handle. So I'm doing this as a reread, so I'm not too worried about coupling my Wheel of Time and my Malazan. But if this is your first time for both, I just don't know what to tell you because first of all, Malazan is going to be 10 books over 2 years. So that's spaced out quite a bit more. We're doing 1 book a month. I've never read Malazan, but I have a feeling that the storytelling style and the story itself is different enough that I don't think you'll probably get the 2 stories confused or mixed up. That is just an assumption, but I think that the types of stories they are different enough, and I think both authors are well known enough for their character work that I don't think you're gonna be like, Rand al'Thor, which story was he from? I mean, I think you're gonna be able to keep them separate. But if you are brand new to like reading for fun, brand new to fiction, brand new to fantasy, brand new to huge stories, huge worlds, massive plots, maybe it'll be too much. I'm not sure. I say do what you want to do, and if one of them becomes too much, then just kind of pick which one you're enjoying the most and move forward. Don't let the prospect of the slog scare you. The slog has become this big, like, dark cloud that follows around Wheel of Time's reputation. And I say the slog is what you make it. Obviously, I had a different experience because I read them back to back and so quickly that the slog didn't feel like a slog for me because I was just cruising at the same speed I had been all along. it might be different this time around for me. I'm not sure. I'm interested to see how I perceive the slog on a reread. But don't let it scare you. The books aren't that bad. There are a couple that kind of drag on, maybe aren't my favorite. There's one book that I think could almost be cut. Like, that's a bad thing to say when I'm trying to sell people on something, but it's honestly not that bad. So don't let the slog scare you, because by the time you get to that point in the story, I think you're going to be so invested in the story, and you're going to be friends with the characters already at that point, that you're not going to abandon them at that point. This is still, even though this is not Mike's read along, this is still Mike's Discord server. So same rules apply here that apply everywhere. I am a channel wide moderator. And so you guys, be nice. Don't be assholes. Like, that's honestly it. The biggest thing that I'm going to watch in here though is don't talk about politics. Like, that's not why I do Discord. That's not why I read books. Just like in any other server, or no, channel in the server, if it starts to get political or uncomfortable, and when I say political, I'm going to make a big umbrella here. I'm talking about if we start talking about race, we start talking about cancel culture, we start talking about COVID, I'm going to tell you to shut that shit down and go to the politics channel, because that's not why we do this. Like, this is for fun. This is for pretending like you literally live in a different world where magic is real. And so I don't want to hear that kind of stuff. As far as audiobooks go, I do get a lot of questions about audiobooks. I audiobook almost everything. And so I have a hard time giving people advice about audiobooks, because I know not everybody learns in the same way. Like, I'm just an auditory learner by nature. And so audiobooks click with me. I had no issues reading these books on audio. But if it's not necessarily the medium that you prefer for learning, then this might not be the best time to try audiobooks for the first time. But if you like audiobooks, I do highly recommend them. They are narrated by the amazing Michael Kramer and Kate Redding. They're just excellent audiobooks. So if that's something that interests you, then sure. If this is your first time checking out audiobooks, might not be the best place to start. Let's see what else. This is a big one. Don't Google anything. This is, a 30-year-old book series, and it is extremely well chronicled on the internet. So don't Google anything, guys. Like, if you start to type in Wheel of Time, that Google drop-down box is going to be like, so-and-so's death, so-and-so reborn, so-and-so. Don't even Google the words. I had two pretty major spoilers ruined for me by Google imaging, just trying to get some fan art to see what people look like. So when I say don't be afraid to tag us, I mean it. Tag me if you want me to show you a picture of Egwene. Tag me if you can't remember who the Queen of Kyrian is. Like, just, you're not going to bother me. If it becomes too much, maybe I'll say something, but there's not too many of us in here. So if you have questions, tag me or somebody else that is obviously like involved and enjoying the discussion that you know has already read it, because we are happy to help you and we don't want you to get spoiled. And don't be that person who's like, I don't mind spoilers. It's gonna ruin stuff. Like, just don't do it. That really bothers me. I think that's about it. I'm just really glad that you guys are planning to read this series. This is a story that is so special, and it's something that you're going to have with you for the rest of your life. I'm confident that most of you will like it. Yeah. But yeah, this is a great series, guys. For me, it has everything. It has the tropes that I love, but done really well. It has an amazing world. It has characters that are just absolutely incredible. It has cool magic. It has politics. It has the geography. It has everything. So anyway, I'm just gushing now, and like I guessed, this turned into a 15-minute video. So sorry about that, but I'm really glad you're here, and I'm just super looking forward to this. So thanks for watching if you did. This is not a booktube channel, but I may make some other videos for a read along in here. So I guess subscribe if you want to, but I'll always post them in the Discord. So it's Christmas Day. Merry Christmas. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.